All right. Good morning. Oh, I gotta clean the intro music. Good morning, everyone. Today is January 14th, 2022, and welcome to our Dive Day, which is open to many people. So you're going to see a lot of people who may not normally be in Dive joining us, and if you are, welcome. If you're watching this replay, welcome as well. I'm joined by the lovely and beautiful Melody Song, who today is, hold on one second.
Oh no.
Who today is, she is blessing us with our wonderful commercial today for cereal. And she just gave the sponsorship, which we can't show on YouTube. She was advertising, she was like, milk. Today's our commercial for milk, which does a body good, we all know. So anyway, we are going to be going over a theme today. The main theme for today is USDT.D, XRP, and Bitcoin, but we will be reviewing some other stuff, as well as I wanted to remind people about ETN, which we talked about from last night's DOGE. Last night's dive. Phil sent us a question, so I want to thank you. Welcome everyone for joining us today. We have welcome by April, Daisy M, David, which I was chatting with in the chat yesterday, so it's wonderful to meet David.
Good morning.
We got Hebrew phone, which is it's like Leviticus phone, but it's more Hebrew. It's a biblical joke right there. And then we got Michelle, wonderful, welcome. And I think you can scroll down just a little bit. I want to see who else is here right now. Superfood, my good friend Superfood, and Mr. Phil, who is always blessed. He's a very smart guy. He has a lot of feelings, just like us, so get it?
Feeling.
Yeah, Phil, Phil, feelings. All right. Daisy says got milk. She says Superfood says good morning, super millionaires. Now future millionaires. And let's see so we got our first real question. And also want to tell David, was it David? Thank you. Yes, we were having a great chat before the dive was beginning. And I was just he was sharing me that he was staying after class. So if you guys want to stay after class for about a half an hour, we'll be here for J-Song After Dark, which we can talk about stuff that's not YouTube sensitive. Good morning. A question about hidden selling. Welcome Olamidi. He's in our Telegram group. He's one of our guys. Question of hidden selling on DOGE. Could it be more than just someone trying to sell off their assets? Could it be intentional suppression? Prophet Robin mentioned a while ago that there was agenda against DOGE. Yes, also there is an agenda against DOGE. I would believe it. I want to tell you something that was really interesting that I heard from the prophetic community. You can take this as you will. But one of the things that we know from the prophetic community is there was a time when the Lord had appeared to someone that was close to me. I believe it was, and he was talking about XRP, and he had a very they said that they watched and observed the Lord had a face that was he had a bad countenance when they mentioned XRP. He was really happy and they mentioned XRP, and he looked really frustrated because from what they understood, the Lord had good plans for XRP, but there's a lot of powers that be in the world that are actively suppressing the price, because the price is supposed to be boosted for his children, for his people, as an opportunity to invest. And I believe it still will be, but there's a delay on those plans. So I don't think that nothing's going to be able to stop them, but having a conversation with these people, I understood that the Lord had feelings and was upset about the manipulation that was going on with XRP at the time. So you guys can take that as you will. It's one of the things reasons why I'm here. Let's turn on our chart. One of the reasons why I'm here is because we are able to. Hold on, 1 second. Our XRP chart should come up. One of the reasons why I'm here is because one of the things that we're able to do in Dive is we're able to examine and read manipulation, which we're going to talk about a little bit today on USDT.D. And if you guys know that the sword method is the method that I use to map out with technical analysis in a very accurate way the price action, and then not only putting on a map on price, so we are able to actually read the behaviors and read the strengths and weaknesses. Like a doctor, you're going to be able to do these type of things as well in time, where you're going to be able to read the manipulation and look for certain behaviors. For example, as an example, before we get into today's class, here's ETN, and here's a map we created from last night with the most important lines that you need to. Now, there's a lot of other micro lines, but we're looking right now at the most important lines for ETN, and because of this, we saw there's weakness. So, for example, here's your foundational lines on ETN. Way back at the beginning of April, this was our lowest wick, and our cores were up here. But right now, we're focusing on the wicks here and here on July. This is the lowest point that price went to, and it closed here. Now, this is a weekly chart denoted by the fact that it says 1W up here in the left-hand corner. So every time you're looking at a chart that I'm doing, it's going to say 1D or 1W, which means 1 week. That means that each one of these is 1 week worth of time. A week, a week, a week, a week, a week, a week, and so forth and so on. So these lines are really powerful when you go back and look at it on like a daily chart. And to show you guys the principles, right now, we have been on top of this line. And when we came to this area a couple weeks back, around right here, I kind of erased it a little bit. I mean, covered it up with this pencil. But price should have bounced right here on, I want to say in December. Like right at the beginning of the year in December, we should have bounced, but we didn't. ETN did not bounce where it should. In fact, instead we pierced below this line. This is not an accident. This is on purpose. This is a sign of weakness. When that happens, a couple things happen as well. A cut is created, which we didn't draw on here. But I will also tell you that we are now on the underside of price, which is not healthy. And that means that ETN is not healthy. It's weak. Okay, because we should have been trading up here and we're not. That's your chance to get out. Now, if price comes up, people think, oh yeah, we're still good. But the truth is we already had the behavior change that we needed to show that there's weakness. Another thing you can look at is that this major lines here, from connecting this top here and this top here, gives you a special angle. Okay, with that angle, you can duplicate that angle to the bottom and the swing. And generally, the swing is going to be between those two tops that you drew. So from here to here, you connect it out in between, and that's generally where the line. Sometimes there's after, you can draw it afterwards or before, but for the most part, this is exactly where you should be drawing it. Now, this already gives you verification because price hit it here on this week, and then also sat down it on this week, and this week, and this week, it also touched it exactly. Likewise, the roof from these core and this core was also shown as verified through this top as well. So for these weeks, these lines are very correct. Now, with that said, when you draw this with the channel using a parallel channel tool, you're going to get a line that is right in the middle, which is about 50%. And that 50% line is absolutely verified as well. And it should be verified. That lets you know you drew it correctly. Here's your verification. In hindsight, here, and basically here. We stopped, but we pierced below the lines a little bit, which was the sign of weakness that we were going down. And now, price is trading underneath this dashed line. Okay, so this is that 50% line, which I call mid-phantom. Now, the reason I call it phantom is because it is an angle that you can only see if you drew the original angle. It's invisible, and yet it's there. It acts, and we see these kind of things all the time, and we cover them in dive class a lot as well, and you'll see the modules on how to create these exactly in the full course, which is launching, or should be launching, Q1 this year, at the beginning of this year. I expect it to be next month, to be honest. Now,
we see that DOGE has been piercing above these lines and being suppressed by that line. It's trying to go above that line, but now it has two major waves of buyers and sellers that it has to overcome. Okay, it has to overcome this white line that I explained, as well as the mid phantom. And there's more, which I won't show you because I already drew them on price, and maybe I'll show you, but I won't get too deep into it because I want to cover USDT.D, XRP, and all them, and we want to look at DOGE as well. But just so you understand some of the principles, if you guys are new to dive. In the same way that we drew core to core, drawing the bodies of the candles, touching the bodies of the candles on these major swings up and down, up and down. I connected those tops. The same way you can connect those wicks, which is the very, very, very tops, and connect the tops. And they also give you an angle. The angle is really similar, and it's like how we drew right here, the wicks, because the truth is you can draw wicks to wicks and cores to cores. There are exceptions. We go over those type of exceptions, but generally they're on a case-by-case basis. But generally the general rule of thumb is to draw core to core and wick to wick. If you were to draw those wick to wick with a ruler, and I'll show you just really quickly, markup, ruler, take a ruler, draw those wick to wick like this. Let's give it a color. This one we'll draw it as a pink. Okay. If we take our pen tool and we were to draw that out, it's going to give us an angle about like that. Now that angle is off. Let me make sure your angle, you want to try and get your angle out as right as possible. If you were to just draw that same angle, I'm not now turning the ruler, I'm keeping the ruler right where it is, and now I'm going to draw to the bottom wick area. It needs to be a little bit higher. There we go. Okay. Now drawing that creates a new bottom and a new top, and again halfway, the halfway mark for this one, about 50%, is almost the same area. Okay, so this is a picture that we got last night before DOGE had a big, I'm sorry, oh, I keep thinking this is DOGE. This is ETN. So now ETN on a weekly chart, yesterday as we discussed, with 2 days left to go, 2 days and 23 hours, now it's been about 12 more hours, so about 2 more days left. If it closes underneath these two major lines, that's a heavy, heavy sign of weakness, and we're going to the next level down. Now, where's the next level down? Well, the last thing we did to measure this was to look at the parabolics. And these are the parabolics. And what I mean, Dow ended red yesterday. Asian European markets is in superfood. Now, look at these curves. By looking at this chart, again, on a weekly chart, I see this curve happening and I think to myself, hey, that's very interesting. We went up and we came down to this area and we started over here. But if you were to draw this curve how it is and extend that curve out, we're getting to about this area right here, and connecting that to this area also is in alignment with this curve. So this tells me that there's a curve, and what I call these curves, I call them parabolics. And this parabolic I see, if you were to extend it, goes to a flat level eventually. So when we start curving down, like a top of a ball, we start curving right about here, and that's to me around 6 cents. Now we said we verified this line by taking this line, taking our lasso tool, okay, edit, markup. If you guys are using an Android device, you can use it's called SketchUp, right? Sketch and snip. Sketch and snip. Sketch and snip.
Snip and sketch.
Snip and sketch. I always get it wrong because I don't have that program. I use Apple. If you were to take your lasso tool, okay, after you draw that curve, it's going to look something like this. And then you take your lasso tool. If you were to take that lasso tool and move it straight up in the air, not to the left, not to the right, but straight up, you're going to move it and bring it down to 2 points. You're going to bring it down to the cores in the foundational area, which is right here. Okay. It's going to be about right there. And you're also going to bring it to the highest wick in the foundational area, which is right here. The foundational area is the beginning of how it all started. That's the area I'm mostly concerned about. Everything else should be verification. So if we were to take that and bring it down to those levels, which we already did here and here, that's going to give you everything you need to know and verify your lines, which we had a verification here for the core and here for the wick. Verification, verification. Now this tells us now that the new top is around 0.028 cents. That is around where the top is. So if price were to bounce up, it would go here. But it also tells us where the floor is. So I concluded yesterday, because of the weaknesses that we see on major time frames, that ETN is now weak. And as long as we close on Sunday, I think it's around 5 p.m. United States time. If we close on Sunday at the end of this time, when the countdown is over, this bar will close. I believe that this will be a great opportunity to short ETN down to 6 cents. So it's currently around 9 cents. I'm sorry, 0.009 to 0.006, which I think that's going to be about 40% gain eventually. Now, this is never financial investment or trading advice of any kind. Everything in this video is just for entertainment, comedic, and in educational purposes only. I eat red crayons for breakfast, and Melody Song sometimes burns the crayons because, you know, it's like burning beans. She has to learn how to burn food sometime. And I get tummy aches when she does. If you guys eat red crayons, Melody Song. If you guys, they can see you in the mirror. They can see what you're doing in the mirror. No. Yeah, look, there's a mirror behind me. If you guys eat red crayons too, you're gonna get a tummy ache. If you guys trade based on anything, you also are gonna get. You also can incur a loss. There's a lot of big dangers. So just everything is not for financial investment or trading advice. Please understand what I'm saying per my YouTube disclosure. Okay, so this is just hype.
Can they?
Yeah, now they can see. Good. Now, with that said, I concluded on this weekly chart there would be a good opportunity if we get that close to trade down to 6 cents because that's the next floor. We're combining two major weaknesses on two higher time frames with the floor. So this is kind of how a map works. If price were to go underneath this and build a structure underneath 6 cents, the next floor is around 0.0043, which is really, really good. Some of you guys are trading and you have no map and you have these great indicators. Some of you guys may have an indicator or your own technical analysis style and you don't have a map to read behavior. You guys are flying blind and a lot of you guys don't have peace and you're not sleeping at night. And that's not good. I want you guys to have peace. I want you guys to be able to sleep nice and at least know in advance, sometimes weeks or months advance, where the proper behavior is coming from and where you should be expecting those behaviors. More or less, this is how a price map works.
Sleep lightly.
Sleep lightly? Who says that? Oh, I know. Who?
Jabba the Twin.
The twins from Jabba the Hutt. Yeah. We will look at DOGE in just a moment, but I want to cover USDT.D. Superfoods is hoping for low crypto prices this weekend if DOW ends red today. All right, we may be able to look at DOW towards the end. Let's look at the manipulation first and then on USDT.D. Now, when this chart goes up, your favorite cryptos are going down often. Often that's the case. Okay, this is a map I've given everyone both on Telegram and on for many months now, and also my Patreon. That's in the Telegram community and on YouTube. I've given people this particular map, but back then the map looked like this. 1 second. Can you give me some milk, Melody Song? Please?
Yes, but it's easy to get soggy. You should eat it right away.
Yeah, but I'll have a time in between my breaths to get it. Melody Song. You need... Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. I'm pulling up my original picture right here. Almost have it. Ah, here it is. All right, here we go. Pull it up. There we go. This is a photo from January 3rd. This is one of the many photos that we've called on USDT.D. This map looked something like this, where we're saying that price would go up from here to here, and it went down up to there. And not only did we go up here, but we broke above here and had this nice rounding top that we explained as very, very bullish. Now this chart, again, when this chart goes up, you're going to see flash crashes. You're going to see price really go down quite a bit sometimes. And sure enough, we had this nice round action, which I told everybody this is fantastic for buying. If you see this on price on top of a sword cut, it's like a fish out of water. This kind of rounding action in the sword method is the kind of action we should be expecting underneath the sword cut, not on top. Because if you see it underneath, that means you're going down. But if you see it on top of a sword cut, that means we are going up. And I draw this pattern for you guys all the time. Likewise, if you see rounding underneath a sword cut rather than rounding on top would mean we're going up. It's just like the inverting rounding. But because we're seeing this rounding here, that means we're going down. Now, if you see this patterns, you're going down. If it's rounding like this or the inverted cup underneath the sword cut, it's a fish out of water. So in this example, we got this one, and those are the four major patterns I really love to see. We had this nice pattern. I knew we were going up, and I told everybody, hey guys, don't be so fooled. Right now, I think we're going up, and this is the manipulation. When we read this type of chart, we're reading the manipulation. Now, I think, again, we're going to 429. I told everybody in many YouTube videos and many dives that this is the first stop around 429 and possibly up here at the major sword cut. Well, that was, here's where we at as of the other day. On January 10th, the first target for USDT has been hit. We still have about 40% more to go up. Remember, when this chart goes up, most cryptos move down, such as XRP, Bitcoin, and others. This is the map I used to navigate the manipulation. And we went exactly to 429. I believe now we're going up to 482, which is where the next sword cut area is, as well as this diagonal resistance. I need everybody to just be aware that I'm still expecting this crypto to go up sometime. However, there's an energy that can push prices down for a little bit, and the energy comes from this section right here. When we were up here, we came down to this bottom and we moved up, but we only moved up this far. It wasn't that far, we just moved up that far. Now that energy comes back into play once we hit 429, which we did. Now there are supports at around 363, but for the most part, that energy is this far, okay? And I'm going to show you where it's at. It's this much. From here to here. That's the energy. Now, if you were to take that energy and see how much price could fall, and this is going to help answer questions about how much DOGE can fall or rise, you guys need to know where it is in relationship to the manipulation. If we were to measure that energy flow, it can really bring you down to 3.40, which means this crypto has a higher potential of going down and for a pullback, even just for a little bit. It's not saying it's going to do it, but it's saying that it could possibly do that. Now, personally, I think we're going to find support at 363, but it could even go lower to 3.40. So when that is over, I believe the run up to the sword cut will be swift and quick. So right now, we can still be playing in this area. Sorry, Melly's taking a picture. Good. Okay. Believe that run up will be swift and quick. So 2 legs. We already hit the first one. Now we're having a slight pullback. I don't believe that this is the beginning of the bull market. I don't believe it's time for people to be like, yeah, everything's going up and everything's gonna be fine. I don't think this is it yet. I think this is just the calm before the storm. This is just a pullback. This is just what I would refer to as a dip. All right. And then with that said, we're gonna look at DOGE. We're gonna look at XRP. We're gonna look at Bitcoin. But so everybody is on the same page, at least knowing where I stand with the manipulation that I've been investigating for this. Okay? We'll refer to those pictures later if you guys need to. Alrighty. Now, let us look on to XRP. Okay? But I promise I'm going to get to DOGE, okay? Just bear with me just a little bit. I need to, it's much easier to explain the big 3 and then continue around going down. Melody, can you pour me some milk, please?
Sure, I said it will get soggy because I tried mine. It's soggy.
Oh yeah, it's a soggy kind of cereal.
But the bottom is not soggy, only the top one.
Oh, only the top, okay. Good. Yeah. All right, here is XRP. And here's my map for XRP. Now, Melody Song just poured me a cereal, so I'm going to take a small bite.
You wait until the last hour.
Uh-oh. Hold on to that. 1 second, guys.
Is the DOW currency? Should I write the DOW too?
I want you to write ETN and then USDT.D, and then you're going to write down XRP because that's the next one. But put on the list that we do have to do DOGE today, somewhere off to the side.
ETN.
Because I want to...
Did you do USDT?
USDT, yeah, I just did. And now we're going to cover, but I will talk about DOGE at the end of class to the person who asked about this, okay? Now, here is XRP. XRP is not healthy at the moment. It's just not. It's not in that area. Oh, put this in the fridge so it doesn't get bad. Thank you. Please, please, please. XRP is not healthy. We need to cross through this major trend line and the wick trend line, which is marked in red here, before price gets healthy. What that looks like is that you need to have a breakout somewhere above this line. And if you don't get it, you can also reject underneath that line, or underneath these lines, I should say, lines, and it could reject down, or you can break out, and if you break out, you're going to go basically to the next sword cuts. If it happens after February, after February begins, generally you have to beat two. You have to have 2 major behavior changes. One at 81 cents XRP, and the other at $1. I mean, you'll have I'm sorry. 2 behavior changes. One at the trend line, and we don't know what level it is because it's not a level. People ask me sometimes, you know, hey, what is the price level? I can't exactly tell you that level. I can only tell you that level based on where we're at with time. For example, this angle is here, and if you were to look at this angle, and if this angle were to happen, just say on February 14th, if price came up to this point on February 14th, then the level is 74 cents. However, if it were to happen in March 1st, the level is 68 cents. Do you see how that works? Because it's not a level. And I don't trade based on price levels. I trade on price behaviors. There are times when you can trade on price levels, and that's with the sword cuts. But we're looking for specific behaviors at specific areas. And the area that we're looking for, the first area we're looking for, is this trend line here. That's the level. I mean, that's the angle that everyone is looking for and expecting. We need that behavior. The other important level, this time it's a level to look at, is where the sword cut is at 0.08119. So as a recap for this one, this is not a tutorial on how to draw the sword cut. There are other parts of dive we may talk about that a little bit later, especially if we have a build. But for the most part, well, I'll explain it just a little bit. I'll take one moment. I got you. This is the major trend that's happening, right? From here, 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 and here. And I drew these at these core foundational points. Core and core extended out, you're getting verification. Here, here, here at the core, here, and, well, not so much here, but a little bit here, okay? When price crossed over here, a lot of these people who were shorting all in these areas lost money. Also, profit taking needs to happen. Price completely reversed and a pain point was created. This pain point is what I call the sword cut. This cut goes into the future, and this line is the line we are looking for and observing price behavior. Price rounded up and went up to this next cut, which I also gave everybody because this is also part of a different type of cut. This line right here was created a cut, which we talk about in dive as well. This line was $1.01, and there are people who made the money from here as a breakout to here, or shorted once we hit $1.16. There was a few weeks ago when I was telling everybody, as we were up here, I said, I'm not convinced this is the time to buy XRP. And this is what I said. I said, we have a sword cut here. I don't see that we have clear lanes. And I didn't like it, and I didn't take the trade. So price rejected from there, and we came to the sword cut, bounced like a baby bounce, and didn't bounce like how we were supposed to, and came back into the sword cut area. This is a sign of weakness. We pierced below that, which is another sign of weakness, and now we rounded off, sitting on a mid-phantom line. We rounded off, and we came underneath the sword cut, touching 81 cents. This is not a coincidence. For people who are interested in where XRP is going, I think you're going down, because we are having that action that I told you guys about, that we draw all the time, looks like this. I think we're going down, and I think we're going down to the next levels below this line. Okay, so this line is 69 cents. This is the key angle. It's also represented here exactly, and price hit that exactly. Okay, this is a key angle that we've drawn from Sword 2.0 analysis that I've created. And the next level below that is 61 cents. It's around 61 cents. It's not exactly a level, but it's around 61 cents. So I am under the impression that this is weak. This movement here is weak. And that means we should be going down. But if we get below 69 cents or around that area, we are going to the next level below, which is 61 cents. So for everyone wondering what I think we're going, I think we're going to 61 cents XRP. Okay. Do I have any questions about XRP and where I think we're going? Okay. Or do I have any other questions about XRP before we move on to Bitcoin, and then we'll move on to DOGE? You guys can unmute if you need to. Welcome, GF. Welcome. Welcome, Haynes. Kimberly's. Or Kimberly. I can't if Kimberly's. Hey, Polis. Hello, my friend. Hello, Venkat. Hey, Wick.
Vic.
All right.
That's what you get when you wake up late.
All right. We're gonna move now to Bitcoin. If you guys didn't have any other questions with
Hi,
this.
Jeff.
Venkat says, hi, Jason.
Jeff, thank you.
If you guys are watching the recording, you may not be able to hear everyone talking at the end of class, or if they unmute, we're not sure if you can hear it or not. But also, you cannot see the chat going on to the side. Which means I can make up stuff if I wanted to. Be like, yes, Mr. Trump. Thank you. Oh, I better not say that name that should not be named on YouTube, right?
Trumpet.
Bitcoin also is experiencing a time of weakness. Bitcoin has on the map, in alignment with USDT.D, it has been reacting to the downward manipulation as USD.T has been going up. In the same way as ETN today, how we drew this parabolic, you can also draw that parabolic. What I did was I connected the wicks from here to here and here. This is the one we used for this one. And it looks something like that. You can draw with a pencil tool using your SketchUp tool. Okay, it's built into all, your markup tool, or your sketch and sniff app.
Sniff and sketch.
Your snip and sketch. It's not snip and sniff, it's snip. Snip. Snip and sketch on Android. And you can connect this and keep it here. Your scratch and sniff. If you connect that cord, you're going to get your verifications here. Okay, which means that your angle that you drew was correct. Now with that angle, you don't just have the angle. You can create that angle and duplicate it in your foundational area, which is mostly around in the beginning, okay? How it all started, that's the most important. And you're gonna take that line and duplicate it and bring it up to the core levels and to the wick levels. And it's gonna give you a channel. So let's do that live just to show you guys what I'm talking about. Oh, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, I need you. Once you draw that level, go ahead and take your tool. You're going to click on duplicate and you're going to bring that line straight down to the wicks. To the cores. About right there. And if yours glitches like mine does, just do it again until it stops glitching. Good. And that's going to give you the floor around here. Now, this is something that's really interesting because I believe that there's this gives us cause to draw another parabolic, but we'll draw it in just a second. Once you draw one, duplicate it by tapping on it and then duplicate it, and now you have another one to draw. No. This is where my hope comes from. Now, see this line? We're going to bring it to the bottom wick area, which is right there. Okay? But make sure you're not moving it to the left or to the right. You move it straight down, and that's going to create your lower channel. If yours glitches like mine, bring it back to where it should be. Okay, your line may be a little bit off or a little bit, and that's fine because with parabolics, you get more a margin of error. You're looking for the essence of what price is happening. With parabolics, you don't have to be as exact. With drawing straight lines, I want you to be exact. So that's the difference. Now, drawing it at these cores gives you verification here. Okay, it also tells us that this is the area that should be the support. But when price is piercing below that area, that's a sign of weakness. So we have our first major sign of weakness because we should have bounced here. That's what our behavior should have been. And we did bounce, but we bounced and pierced underneath it here. We pierced below underneath it. So this is not correct. This is telling us melody song. But this is piercing below, and this tells us that price is going to have a higher chance of going down, which we did, and we kept going down and going down until we finally respected around the trend line. Okay, and we respected it here as well as the core here. Yes, this is XRP. Then we bounce up, but I'm not convinced we're going up because we already demonstrated weakness. 3 major times of weakness. So that tells me generally price is going to keep going down. And sure enough, we hit the roof, and that roof was also calculatable at 51,000. Okay, that was calculated all because of here, here, and here. Okay, all of that was telling you the curve. And if you draw on that, we drew this in this class. We knew where this curve is. Some people like Mark, I think he made some money shorting XRP during that time. I think it was him. You can know that we would be looking for either a break above this level, and you're looking for behavior here, or you're just watching price to see if you get the rejection. Once you get it, take the trade, pull the trigger if you want to. Now, the next thing you guys should all know about XRP is where we're at right now in, oh, I'm sorry, this is not XRP, this is Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin. The next thing I should know is in addition to the same curve, we still also penetrated below it. This is a sign of weakness. So even though we go up, I'm not convinced we're going to continue to stay up. I really believe this is a continuation of us going down. And I really believe this means we're going to be experiencing the next floors, which is around 35,000 to 34,000. Okay, so this is that. Now I have another analysis that shows we're going to get to around 33 to 34,000. But right now, the major lines to know is that I do have a sword cut here at 35, as well as this is where this floor is coming in. It's coming in right around here. So there's a high chance that if we start trading below this curve, which is around 45,000. Oh, I'm sorry, around 41,000. I want to say around 41K, around there. Okay, if we start trading around or under 41,000, and especially if we get this pattern, I think Bitcoin is going down. And everybody, you guys can have that on your map. So if I'm not here, or if you guys aren't members of DOW and you're wondering what's happening with the bigger trades, draw that parabolic. Draw this one that I showed you guys, this one up here, draw that, okay? Draw that parabolic and duplicate it on the cores and on the wicks. And it's going to give you those floors, and you're going to have just about most of what you're going to need to navigate the next couple of months with Bitcoin's action. If you're under the belief that cryptos fall and they follow Bitcoin, okay, then just look at what Bitcoin's doing, okay? And if you have a map like this, you're going to better navigate what is actually happening. Now there's more rules and stuff to that, but for the basics, you just need to know where I have drawn my sword cuts. My major ones are at 35,879 and a little bit higher at 37, I want to say around 37,100. Okay, so that's what I'm giving you guys for your Bitcoin, so you know more or less the behavior you should be expecting. There's a lot of people that are bullish and bearish and different things. I can't speak to all of them or their analysis, but I can tell you that longer term, I think Bitcoin's going to do good. Longer term. I know there's also we have prophetic intel that there will be some type of flash crash due to a hacking event. I still expect that event the warning time to be sometime in January. The first hotspot days were around the 7th, and the next hotspot day for a hacking warning alert is around the 20th. So just be aware of the 7th and the 20th. We already passed the 7th. So now just looking at the 20th, I'm going to be on a little bit higher alert. Some people have very low Bitcoin orders around very low levels, which we'll talk about after class. If you guys want to, I can't talk about them publicly. If you want to have one just to be ready. After a computer hack, we expected price to go back to normal for the most part, which would be like a quick recovery. Okay. That kind of hack can bring XRP down as well. So now we're going to go into, we already talked about XRP. So that was around 60 cents. Was that everything we did? We talked about XRP?
Yes.
That means, so this is Bitcoin. So right now we talked about Bitcoin. And now we're going to go into DOGE. Right? Do I have any other questions about Bitcoin before moving on? Do we have any more Bitcoin questions? From my opinion.
I've got a quick query.
Yeah.
So, if it goes just underneath that line of 41k, it shows it's going to go down. Yeah?
We're looking for behavior underneath that line. Because the truth is we already got below that.
Yeah, we did.
But wait, now we need to see a rounding auction. Generally, I want to see a behavior structure that will reject. Something like this, where price kind of rounds and then rejected. Right now we rounded and we went up. So right now, to me, I believe we're in a place called the discount, which is what I call the discount. The discount is where you can buy as much as you can and get great prices. Because if you're going to short Bitcoin, you don't want to short it right here. If you could, you would short it the highest you can if you know it's going to go down. So it's like we kind of know it's going down and we want to get good high prices. So that's why I call it the discount. But, you know, because we already have the behaviors basically we need. And then also let's look at, well, normally I say let's look at volume around this time. But I don't like looking at volume for Bitcoin because I almost can never read it when it comes to Bitcoin. A lot of the volume on Bitcoin is often distorted and messed up or not correct or hidden. I think something's wrong with the volume, to be honest. But we are able to read the manipulation with USDT.D and kind of more or less know what we should be expecting. I will tell you the candlestick pattern is a bearish engulfing, or some people know it as a railroad tracks, meaning we went straight up and went straight back down. This candle is engulfing this entire peak, so that's a more sign of weakness. Especially if this candle closed like that, it's a candlestick pattern that some of you guys who are aware of candlestick patterns, you'll know that that's a weaker one. I don't really teach that in class or even in my sword method course, but there are people who do teach that online, and that analysis for reading candlesticks is fantastic. And who is that talking with? Is that David?
Yes.
That was David. Thank you, David. And it's nice to meet you again.
So, yeah, it's the top. So should we expect it to hover around before the week ends, or you're not sure?
Let's take a look. So if you're wondering what action we could be expecting over the weekend, let's look on around a 4-hour chart, okay? Or 4 to 1 hour chart. Start with our 4-hour chart using our current map. Let's see what we see. I'm going to give you some levels. I'm going to draw them like with light dotted. There is a sword cut here at 44666. I'm going to draw, and I'll explain why there is. This is based on a parabolic from here to here. I'm going to show you real quick. Okay, this one in reality will not curve. This is on a 4-hour chart. This in reality will not curve up. It's just going to level out. And it levels out approximately at 4666 approximately. Okay, this is a local curve. This is not enough to change the whole game, but if you're trading locally, if you're just like intra-trading Bitcoin, this will be important to you. Okay, I draw my sword cuts as orange, but when I'm drawing on a 4-hour or 1-hour chart, it doesn't matter to the whole game. So I don't generally like to keep them on my bigger maps. Let's see what else I can see. Now, one thing to note, if you're following along with me, I always turn on the setting and then I draw on logarithmic view. If you're drawing on regular view, okay, if you turn on regular view, you can, but you're gonna lose some of the data in the beginning, which is important. If you're drawing on regular view and you click on a line and you click on the button that says clone, then you can move the line around and for the most part, the angle will not change, or shouldn't change. Okay? for the most part, you're going to get the same angle. However, if you turn on logarithmic view, that is where the app trading view has the glitch, and that glitch distorts the angle, and the angle ends up changing, getting wider or smaller when you move it around. So when you do move it around, you'll see the difference of the angle. So you may want to manually adjust the curve to make it back to what it should be. So just so you guys know that that's difference. Now with Bitcoin, the spread is so wide, I don't bother. I don't really. I always leave it on logarithmic for this set. But it doesn't really matter with Bitcoin. But it does matter with many of these other cryptos that are trading at 0.000 cents. And as a quick teaching about this, when trading and turning on a crypto and using regular view, you're forcing yourself to view price through the eyes of a United States dollar, which will be on the side. This is all the view of a United States dollar. And that really is bad because people bought the coin when it was like 0.000008 cents. And all of those emotions that they have, the feelings of a buying and selling, are very valid. And their profit-taking ability, their power to exit a transaction and make price fall down, even if it's at $1,000, is no less important or no less real. But viewing through the eyes of the United States dollar it'll make all the beginning candles look squished, and the rest of the candles, it'll make them look like they're more important than they actually are. And you'll see this sometimes it's really, really, really profound, and other times it's not that profound, especially if you've been trading for a long time above, $1,000 or $100 and stuff like that. Like Bitcoin, it's been trading around 51,000 around there, right? So you're gonna find it's not that important, but some cryptos are. So a lot of people don't have this view. This is a big secret that people are missing out. If you're drawing, technically draw on logarithmic view. Even if you have glitches, the value that you're gonna get out of the data from your map is way more important than the glitch, okay? Just try to eyeball it. If you have to make it the same curve with your eyes, draw it with the same, or just take a screenshot like I did, and then you'll take a trend line, take your line, copy your line, or copy it as best you can, like something like this, and then take your lasso tool, and then take that tool and duplicate it, and bring it straight down to those cores and bring it to the wicks, and you're gonna start seeing more of the data present itself. Okay, so this is on, and then iPad obviously has a glitch too. All right, now because of this, you're gonna see that price is reacting to this area here. So this is your verification already that this curve is correct. Okay, do you guys see that? Now this is live. There's another curve by taking that same curve and drawing that curve here at this wick. So we drew it basically at the core, and now we're also gonna draw it at the wick, which is gonna give you around these areas, okay? If you were to take that same curve, and you can also see here's verification. Take that curve, there's your verification. We did go up to the first level here, but then we went right back down to these areas. Okay, so just so you kind of know more or less where the resistance is locally, Bitcoin on a 4-hour chart should be going down. We could play in this areas for quite a bit, but the truth is there's going to be some time over the next week or 2 weeks where I'm expecting price to actually go underneath these lines and continue down on the bigger map. But right now, I would say that the trade for today is already gone because that would have been the trade for Bitcoin for today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's another local shortcut, which I'll draw it with a very different color. Let's use purple, okay? And this is based on this curve here. And that would make prices at 43,750. It would make them more difficult to pass because it's a type of cut. You may get some resistance at that area. Price would do something like go up to that area and possibly reject, or you would be able to get your boost above. Okay, that's for people who are really intraday trading Bitcoin. And you guys can ask me from time to time, what are some of the more 1 hour and 4 hour charts on a trade. But the most important thing to keep in mind is your map on the bigger picture, because a lot of the times the lower stuff is just incidental. The same principles that work on the bigger map work on a smaller map, but they don't work independently of the bigger stuff. What does that mean? That means that, okay, you're a big ship, right? You're a Titanic. You're the Titanic. You're going through the ocean and you see a big iceberg. Just because you get in your little telescope and you see a little floating block of ice that you crack through, you're like, yeah, I can break through that ice. I can break through that ice. And you're zoom in. Just because you zoom in and you pretend like that big iceberg in the distance doesn't exist, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means you're ignoring reality. So when you fail to draw the map on a bigger scale, this is often the times why a lot of people get totally wiped out in a crypto trade. When I was first trading, I traded 11 years unsuccessfully in my first 11 years. And I'm 37 right now. I've been doing this technical analysis since I was 18 years old. And I used to be, I used to get in trouble because I'd be up all night, stressing out about my Forex and different things like that I was trading at the time. And I was seeing all phenomenon, seeing all these things that my teachers were telling me, and there was a lot of things that was just not correct. And I was like, okay, well, why do trend lines work sometimes and they don't work other times? I didn't understand how a map works with behavior and weaknesses and examining the health. I didn't get it. And then I didn't know what behaviors to look for when it was a type of breakout. I didn't know what I know now. And there would be times that I got to the point where I thought I was good. And when I thought I was good, I did the best analysis I could, and I still, price went completely the opposite way, right out of the blue. And I was, what happened? What did I miss? What did I miss? And I didn't realize that the same principles I was learning to trade with on a 1 hour, on a 5 minute chart, some of those same things I was learning was the same principles on a 4 hour, on a daily, on a weekly, and on a monthly chart. Because there was often times when everything on a 5 minute chart or a 1 hour chart was telling me to go down, that price is going down for today. But on the daily chart, everything was telling me, hey, we're ready to go up. And it's the principle, what I call in the sword method, the principle of the bigger fish. The bigger fish is that the big fish in the pond is the big fish bullying all the other fish and eating whatever he wants. He's only the big fish until he comes to encounter another fish that's even bigger than him. And then he's just a small fry. Okay? There's always a bigger fish that can eat that. In the same way, it's like trading. It's like surfing. You give this analogy. When you're surfing out, you see these little waves, right? And you're like, yeah, you're trading those little waves. But if you look into the horizon and you see Humungadunga coming in, and Humungadunga's coming in, and it sees all the little waves, it will actually eat up the other waves until it's almost like they didn't even matter at all. And that's exactly the principle of trading. When you're trading smaller time frames, and you're not looking at the higher time frames and seeing that there may be a setup or a trade or the actual movement on there. If you miss it because you're so focused on your little periscope or the little waves, or you're focused on thinking you're the big fish, then you can really get eaten by a big fish, Humungadunga, or taken out by the iceberg and sink your ship. And so this is what I offer you guys as a kind of an advice. Keep your eyes on the bigger picture, because that's where you're going to see that you guys are going to be more safe and in alignment. So if the bigger picture tells us, hey, we're going up longer term or we're going down longer term, keep that in mind as you take some of the more smaller intradays, like a 1 hour or a 2 hour trade. There's a balance in between that. Got it? Does everybody understand that, how that kind of works?
Yes.
All right, let's go to DOGE. Thank you very much for you guys' questions and stuff. Let's go to DOGE and see what's going on with DOGE and look at our map. All right. Isn't it funny? I think we talked about DOGE just last night, right? Did we talk about DOGE last night, Melody?
Yeah. Last night.
Yes, we talked about DOGE right before ETN, and I told everybody that I'm not bullish DOGE until we get past our foundational line. Now, what's our foundational line? It's here. I'm going to delete all my lines and show you guys how to draw it. Okay. This is DOGE on a daily chart. What mostly happened is that price has been flowing up, came down, went up, and then we came down ever since. We've been going down since this area, but how did it get started? This is what's called the foundation. Okay, the foundation is when you build your trend lines, how it starts is very, very important because it dictates almost the whole segment. There are, especially when I start teaching you guys SOAR 2.0 and you guys start seeing more of this stuff in my modules, you're gonna see this really, really in depth because it gets levels deep. But for simplicity's sake, you just need to know a basic principle. The basic principle is how it started. Now, there's two ways you can draw the trend line, as I talked about in the beginning of the video. But basically, you can draw them at the core, which is the body of this candle. Let me use a pen. Right there. Or you can draw it at the very high wick. Now, I'm looking at this area as a cluster. Okay? Meaning, like, I'm not just focusing on a single candle. I'm looking at the essence of where the top is for the bodies. And I'm looking at the essence of where the bodies are. So the bodies are here, and then where the top is on the wicks. Now, this is obviously the highest wick, and this is obviously the highest core. Now, I'm looking to draw a line that's not going to cross through the other candles in that cluster. That's correct. Whereas something like this would not be correct because it's crossing through that candle there. Okay. So I'm mostly going to be drawing it at this candle right there. If I was drawing a trend line that was at that angle. But we don't know the angle yet. We're gonna find out what the angle is. I'm gonna show you what the angle is. It is here. Okay, so now we're focusing on this peak right here. Now this peak gives us this high, and it gives us this core, which is the core body. Now, just as a quick example, because many people don't know how to read a candle is very simple. If it's white, or if in your case it's going to be green, sometimes they're blue, that means that it started at the bottom. It started at the bottom right here. And during that time, it went all the way up to the highest string, which is right here, okay, up here, and came all the way back down and closed at the top of the white candle for the end of that time frame. In this example, it says 1D, which means that each one of these candles represents 1 day worth of time. Okay, so here's 1 day, here's 2 day, and we can look on the bottom to see what day it was. It was around November of 2020, yeah, just 2022. So we're looking around November, right? And before November 15th, that's where time frame we're looking at. So because we went up and then came all the way down in such a substantial way, and then we went up in a substantial way and came down, and we've been going down ever since, we're looking at these two clusters to connect them together like we're connecting the dots. And we're going to connect them at the core area for right now. We're just going to focus only on the core, which is where these bodies cross, here and here. Again, here and here. Draw them like that, and then you're going to take a ruler and you're going to connect those two together. It'll look like something like this, okay? That is your core line that we're going to be drawing, okay? Now, if you want to be really accurate, which you should, you probably want to use like a pen tool, which can get a little bit more smaller. To change the width, you can make the pen really thick up here and make the pen really thick, or you can change the thickness to really thin like this. Okay, so click on that pen tool and it's going to give you different thicknesses right here. You can also make your line semi-transparent by moving the transparency and make it a little bit invisible so you can see what's behind price. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Mm-hmm. So now, just as a secret, just draw on the red ones, okay? Because that's the last candle that price hit before going off the cliff. Let's draw that out. Okay, and we're gonna give this a red color because right now it's like a bit of a roof, and we're gonna just draw the angle, and you're gonna draw that angle out. Okay, and that should give you something like this. All right. Now, before we continue, I'm going to let you guys know quickly what DOGE is doing is price on DOGE for today in the next 10 hours and 50 minutes. That's how much time there's left on this particular candle. DOGE tried to go really high and came right back down and could not pass this line. What that means is that there's so many sellers or people taking profit or people who were buying and lost money and had to close out their transaction. So they bought and then they have to sell it back. So that means they're selling. So that's selling going on in these areas. That means that DOGE is not going to be bullish or healthy until we get above this line and build structure, either at a sword cut, if price were to break, or bouncing on the line again. So either a sword cut, which would be somewhere like that, right? Let me make that. But we don't have any cut of price, so we can't really draw a sword cut right now. All we have is just the line. We would need some kind of bounce on this line or some type of solid breakout before going up. This behavior above here is healthy. This behavior above here is weak or sick. Now, it's not that sick. It would be really sick if it starts trading underneath some of these core angles, but just so you know, this is the angle. Now, there's other reasons we know this angle is the angle, and I won't get too much depth into it, but I'm going to just show you just a little bit. One of the things you can do if you wanted to, by duplicating that line and moving it down at core areas, you're going to see.
Good morning, Jamal.
Good morning, Jamal. By moving it down to the bottoms. Oops. Come on, Mr. Trendline. Oh, it's pretty close. I'll leave it alone. By connecting that line and just showing you how this works, okay? We do a lot of this. You're gonna see a lot of simple things like this in 2.0. It won't be we won't draw all the trend line, but just so you know, this key angle is the key angle. By moving it down to the bottom of this bounce right here and here, moving that angle by duplicating it and bringing it out here, you're going to see verification all over the place. Okay? You're going to see how price actually tried to break above and couldn't. Here, here, here. We went all the way down here and tried to come back up, couldn't beat it here. So we're getting rejected all over here when we first had bounces. Here we couldn't break above. Here we couldn't break above. And this is kind of how it works. Okay, you're going to see a lot of this stuff in SWORD 2.0, and I'll be teaching you how to micro trade these kinds of things. Right now in dive class, we focus a lot more on the major trend lines, but there are micro trend lines which you can use to more expertly navigate whatever crypto stock you guys are trading. Because once you see them on one, you're going to see it on a lot of price. You can also use these as a type of support, okay, and seeing if you should be bouncing or rejecting, but at least you know the areas which you are going to be expecting those type of behaviors to happen. So when you have verifications in the past, you're going to see a lot of that in the future. Now, so for DOGE to be healthy, for me, I really want to see it break above wherever the current line is at. And currently, according to time, I can't tell you, oh, it's at 20 cents. I can't really say that because it changes depending on the day you are. But at the moment, if it hit it today, it's around 1950. That means 19 0.1950 cents DOGE would be more healthy and possibly a time to buy. But at the moment, we can really still reject on DOGE. You can really just go down. And there's nothing really stopping you because you already have rejection. I don't care what Elon Musk tweeted. If you don't have healthy price structure, news only lasts you so long. News can bring you to a new healthy zone. It's possible, but you still need to be healthy into a healthy zone based on price's own structure. Otherwise, it's just like most news, it's temporary. You'll see price shoot up and then come right back down. Or here, during that manipulation that's happening, we went all the way down on December 4th and came right back up. Because at that time, price wasn't ready to fully go down. It was just ready to be, supported. So this is something that you guys need to be aware of. And right now for DOGE, for the people who asked for DOGE are still in the class right now, I'm looking for a price to become healthy there. Let's see what else we can see, because there is something else I noticed on DOGE. I'm going to save this to my photos, and we're going to look at something else. And this is something I believe we drew last night. So let's go through our pictures last night and see what we saw for DOGE. Okay. Now, on my price action for DOGE, I've already drawn those foundational lines here and here. My line is actually red. I drew this as red, okay? And you guys should have that line, and that's exactly the same line we just drew in the previous. But this is a picture of what we talked about last night for DOGE. These are some of the sword cuts and some of the levels I have for DOGE. I have a sword cut at 22 cents and 44, 22.44. So please put that on your chart map as well, okay? I also have a more higher resistance on DOGE, and it's from this core to a previous core off the screen. So let's draw that so you guys also have that angle, because this will be important for you guys, okay? This angle is created from this high back in April 15th. So anyone wanting to navigate through DOGE, draw the core from here and draw it to this core right there, and draw those, and that's going to give you the most nearest resistance line. How it will look something like this. Connect that dot. Oops, let's bring it back opacity. There we go. Connect that dot to that dot at the cores. Let's draw those. Once you have that, take your ruler down here, turn to your angle, right? Turn it and match those angles together like you're connecting the dots, and you draw. And then you're going to take a color like red or something, but not orange. Try not to do orange. And then draw it out. So now we have this angle, and if price were to hit it today, it's approximately 26.30. That means 26.30 cents DOGE. Now, I don't think you're going to go all the way that high today, but if price is skyrocketed, right, and you guys are wondering where are people going to start taking profit, I can almost guarantee you they're going to start taking profit around 26.30 if it happened today. Okay, this is a dynamic line, meaning it is angled. It changes. That's what I call dynamics. Okay, and your verification for that is this wick right there. That's your verification. Okay. Some of you guys, is this really correct? Yeah, price should verify itself. You guys can do your own lines, and hopefully you'll see your own verifications. Okay, now with that angle set, there's some more verification, a little bit of verification. Now with that said, make sure you have those two lines and this local one here. So you got your local DOGE, which is what's impacting price right now at this very current moment, and you'll have your major line. If price gets healthy on DOGE and just say it breaks above its sword cuts, so the one I showed you guys at 22, right? Just say it gets there. If you have those two behaviors, then there's a really high chance, then there's a very, very, very high chance that if you get that second behavior, you can be hitting all the way up to wherever that line is, around 25 to 26 cents, somewhere here. And those were the two trades. You can take one trade, make the money up to 22 cents, then get out and wait for a break above, and then get in again and take the money up to 25. That'll be 22 to 25. So some of you guys who are navigating where DOGE will be going, those are the major behaviors you're going to be needing. So let's look at that again now a little more professionally on price itself. All right. So here is that trend line. Right now it's at 1937. Okay, so this is around current price. Current price is 19,447. That trend line, if it hits it today, it's 19,447. If it hits it on February 1st, that line is around 1765, 1769. So just so you guys know, that's how much of an angle that price can hit. That's how much it could change. So when people say, oh, just buy DOGE at this amount of price, look at it in relationship to the angle. The angle is very critical because that price level is not level at all most times. The sword cuts are 22.44 is not going to change. Okay. There's another sword cut I have here at 25.89. Be aware of that. If price scrolls through, I need that. So there's really three major behaviors I'm looking at. There's another sword cut here as well, up at the top. But let's just focus on those for right now. I won't get more into that. I'll save that for another time. You guys can ask me about that later. But for right now, the money that's being made up to 25 cents, they intersect around, the core roofs intersect around January 24th. So that might be a time to be looking and put a flag. Actually, we won't put a flag there because it's just a sword cut. But this might be in a critical time that can pull price up around January 24th. That's just something we'll be looking at. Okay, so those behaviors, let's draw it one more time.
Mr. Jason, are you receiving cryptos to cover for today? If so, would you be able to cover 10x pay?
10x pay. What are we at on the time?
1 hour and 17 minutes.
Okay.
Any news from your network and profit? The last release was not on the video. What's the news updates? Please, thanks. RJWG. Jamal asked for 10x. Hi, Dean.
So Jamal asked for 10x. Okay.
Pay.
10x pay. Okay.
Should I write it here?
Yeah.
What is that you're doing? DOGE?
Yeah. I'm doing DOGE right now. Alrighty. So this is going to be most of my map for DOGE. If we're getting this breakout above here, and generally because we have a sword cut here, I want to see this. I'll let people know this. I want to see this round. We'll take a look. So that's what I have for DOGE for everybody. I'm going to leave this picture up. Everybody can take a screenshot of it if you want to right now. And this was DOGE last night. We looked at volume. We saw some hidden selling going on in this area. And we are still in this zone even after the tweet. So that's one. This is the second one that I just created right now, which I'm expecting still some resistance in this area for us to go down. Okay, a break above here around 19 cents DOGE would bring us up to 22 cents DOGE. All right. $10x pay. All right. Any news on your network from the Prophet latest? The latest release was not in the video. No, I don't have any. I don't have any major updates for from the prophetic news right now. About really about anything right now. I just don't have it at the moment. And then so I can't talk about that right now. Let's look on. So let's look on Pay. Let's see if we can build something with Pay.
Somebody asked for DOW.
Oh, for what?
DOW.
Oh yeah. I know you. Everyone was talking about the DOW in the morning. So let's look at the DOW, and then
Then X.
yeah, if it's possible. Let's look at DOW. Okay, because you guys are interested in DOW. I want to keep things a little more basic for this public dive. But let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I'm trying to see if I have it. I'm sure I have it. DOW. No. Let's I don't have it in my safe watch list. Okay, let's build it. I'm sure I've done it before. So let's shouldn't be so hard. Real quick. DOW. Dow Jones Industrial Average. Wait. This is Dow Incorporated. We don't want that.
Pay. No, DOW.
DIA. Should be wait. DJI. Should be an index. Dow USD. Is that right? Yeah, this is correct. Okay, so it should be like this. All right, let's point out some major things that we're taking, that I see. Let's look on a weekly chart and a monthly chart first. So monthly first. This is interesting. The flow is curved up, which is indicative that there's a flow here and there's a flow here. I'm going to show you what that looks like real quick. Okay. Second. Oop. 1 second. You guys get to see me work. Okay, so that's in alignment for the most part. And oh, yeah. Okay, you got a verification here. So this is a little bit unhealthy for Dow at the moment, at least according to this curve that I draw on the monthly chart. Let's look on a weekly chart. See, this flow is like curved like this. So when you see that, you can draw the flow that you see and then duplicate that curve out. So it's going to look like this. I think what's happening is these are going to be included in this taper, which is interesting. So this is actually tapering off, which means it's more like this. Yeah, it's more like this. Interesting. All right. I'm going to now duplicate this and bring it to the course here. Trying to keep the essence of the line. I'm going to adjust it again. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time. Oh! Don't delete it. Adjusting for the glitch. And let's see how well I did. I think I did it off. Okay, 1 second. This is really important to make sure you, for the most part. Okay. Okay, so this one needs to come down quite a bit, and then also this one needs to come down quite a bit. Okay, around 31,000, and this one needs to come down around 27,000. $31,000, 27,000. What I'm trying to do is duplicate that first angle that was capturing the essence of the flow, because that's going to give you more success. All right. So this is more or less correct. With parabolics, there's more margin of error, but what this does is it gives me a floor for the Dow Jones to dip all the way down to $32,266. Okay, so that might be something to be aware of. Okay, this is something I really pop up. I won't get too in depth in this one right now, but I will say that you're flirting with danger, because you're just staying at the top for a while. And let's look at the volumes to see if I can pop anything. This is an index, so it doesn't really give me a correct volume. I don't see it here. Okay. Let's take a look at this indicator. Let's see if I can perform a star analysis on here. Nope. Yep. It's weak at the moment. I would expect some bouncing around 40 here.
It's weak.
I would expect some bouncing around here. Okay, I won't do this analysis online on YouTube, but I see some support around 43, 42 on this indicator. This is RSI. Okay. But for right now, I will not say much about the Dow Jones. I will just say that there are support around 32 and here, and this might help some of you guys who are trading the Dow Jones waiting for a stock market crash. There was a for the, and what's the one I do, the I don't do the Dow. I haven't done the Dow. I don't think so, but I've done the other one. What's the other one, guys? The 500, S&P 500, and we are still in a bullish territory for that one, or we've been in a little bit. Okay, any other questions for different stuff? What platforms do you use to draw your charts, says David. David, I draw on TradingView, the app TradingView. It's called TradingView. It looks like this icon right there, that one. Okay.
Jamal said,
Mr. Song, return to work. I'll touch bases with you and the class later. Fantastic, Jamal. Have a great day. Have a blessed day. David's phone.
I'm not in rush. My request can wait until another day if you want. The 10x, Jamal said. Oh, what platform do you use to draw charts? David's iPhone asked. Oh no. And thanks so much. More great insight today. Kids waking up. Gotta go. Bye, Peel. David's iPhones ask what platform do you use to draw charts. Hello, House. Welcome, House. Just about to end the class.
All right, guys. Yeah. Where we at on time? Yeah, we're about to. So after being over on time, I hope that some of you guys will be joining me tonight. Me and Melody Song tonight. We'll end our live broadcast. If you guys want to stick around after class, we can meet some of you guys.
Thanks, guys.
We'll eat breakfast in a little bit. And then we'll end the class. And tonight we have a dive at 9, the same time, 9 p.m. GMT -3. It's 7 a.m. here, 7 a.m. in New York time. And we are in Peru.
PM.
Yeah, 7 p.m. Sorry, 7 p.m. We are in Peru right now, me and Melody. So it's 7 a.m. our time. So we look forward to some of you guys showing up there. Thank you, Jay Song. So super catch you on the PM dive.
Will you answer the question of David?
David, what question did David have?
What platform do you use?
Oh, I didn't. I said Trading View. Trading
okay.
View. It's called Trading View. But yeah, and then thank you. So let's cue the outro music. We'll be right back to answer any other after class questions or just have a discussion. Okay, talk. Let's cue.
Q or pray?
Cue. Oh, pray. Yeah, we gotta pray for you guys. Thank you, Father. We thank you for this wonderful day, that you wake us up with breath in our lungs.
Yes, Lord.
Lord, with joy in our hearts, even through the dark times, Lord, we are keeping on hold to the hope that you are going to turn things around, the hope of eternal life, the hope that the darkness will flee, and that you are overcoming the world, and that you overcame the world, and that you gave us the keys of the kingdom, that you gave us the power to move mountains in our lives, to move mountains in our society, to move mountains in these times. And Lord, I pray that you would just deliver us from the mighty evil, from the forced things that are forced upon society, that are forced upon the nations, for the things that are hurting the people biologically, against all the biological weapons, both ones that are from the government and also ones from hidden governments, and ones that are from the evil manipulation from laboratories and different things. Lord, you know exactly the things we're talking about. Lord, we pray that all the experiments that are being done against people, against your people, be exposed, against even the children. Lord, I pray that you would just reveal and expose it and set the captive free. Set the captives free. Set us and set our minds free as well, Lord, as a people, and let us become back to health and heal us, because the Bible says that if we call upon your name, that you would come and you would heal our land. Lord, we've been a broken people. We've been a broken nation. We almost lost our nations. We almost lost the battle, Lord. But I believe that the battle is the Lord's, and I thank you for waking up the body of Christ for such a time as this. I pray that you would prosper these people and make them rich and make them blessed for the kingdom work that needs to be done for their lives and for your kingdom in the future. Some of them you're going to give great wealth to. And I pray that you would just give them that great wealth. Let it not corrupt their hearts, but let them rather be the master over wealth. For wealth can make a terrible master, but it can also make a great servant. So I pray that they would become great stewards of the finances and the resources that you give them in. Give them minds to understand, minds to comprehend price action and those kinds of things and complicated matters of the world. I pray that you would give them minds astute to understand. Give them a mind like Joseph. As my own father says, on the earth he always says that remember the faith of Joseph. And so, Lord, I pray that they would also have minds and a faith like Joseph. Take us from the darkest prisons and bring us to the king's palaces. Make us princes and princesses, Lord. Make us the leaders. Make us the stewards of your resources. Make us into your flames of fire as well, Lord. Make us your resources for the Holy Spirit and the work upon the earth in these days. We need your help, Lord. We are nothing without you. And please forgive us for our wicked sins, our wicked ways. Forgive us for the lives we lived outside of you. Forgive us for the times we turned our back on you. Though you gave us life, though you gave us health, though you caused the rain to fall on the just and the unjust, you still gave us so much grace. Thank you for this time to get ready, to get right, and to be prepared for everything. Thank you for such a time as this, Lord. Even though the days are dark, the stories that we'll be able to tell our children and our children's children of how your mighty hand moved and how you saved us, Lord, from all of our calamities and troubles. How we almost lost, but how you turned things around. Thank you, Lord. Let this be the year of turning things around, Lord. And we praise you and bless you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen.
And thank you guys, team. And we'll be right back. Melody song, please cue the outro music. D.
Oh, we lost it.
Oh, no, it's right there. It's just that one. Yep. Yeah, that one. Click it.
No.
Yeah, click it.
Copy of.
Oh, scroll up. Well, you have to just scroll up, Melody. Here, I'll show you. There it is. There.
Look at the camera.
You look at the camera.